Picture this. I'm staring at my phone at 3 a.m. watching my AI twin reply to emails, schedule meetings, and even make decisions about which projects I should take on. And that's when it hit me. I hadn't made a single work decision myself in over 2 weeks. My digital twin was literally running parts of my life. Wait, was this awesome or terrifying? Let me rewind a bit. A month ago, I was drowning in tasks. You know that feeling when your to-do list is so long you can't even find the energy to start? Yeah, that was me. Between answering emails, scheduling meetings, researching topics for work, and trying to have some kind of personal life, I was completely burnt out. So I started small. I began training an AI with examples of my writing style, my decision-making patterns, and my preferences. Think of it like teaching a super smart parrot to not just repeat what you say, but to actually understand how you think. At first, it was honestly pretty bad at being me. It would say things I would never say, make choices I thought were ridiculous, and sometimes just completely miss the point. But here's where it gets interesting. Instead of giving up, I started giving it feedback. No, that's not how I would respond to that email. Actually, I always prioritize these types of tasks first. That's way too formal. I need you to sound more casual. Kind of like training a puppy, except this puppy was learning at warp speed. And speaking of speed, by week 2, something wild started happening. My AI twin began to get really good at being me. Like scary good. It started drafting emails that sounded exactly like me, to the point where friends would reply like nothing was different. It began making scheduling decisions that perfectly aligned with my preferences. The craziest part? It started anticipating what I would want before I even asked for it. But just wait until you see what happened next. I'm still not sure if it was brilliant or if I crossed a line. Hey, if this story is grabbing your interest, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I'm sharing all my AI experiments on this channel, and believe me, this is just the beginning of what's possible. So back to my digital twin. By week 3, I decided to take a massive leap. I set up systems that would allow my AI twin to actually execute decisions without me checking them first. I gave it access to my calendar to schedule meetings automatically. I let it draft and send certain types of emails without my review. I even allowed it to research topics and create outlines for my projects. This is where things get interesting and a little mind-blowing. I programmed specific boundaries. It could only automatically reply to certain types of messages. It needed to flag anything important, and it had clear guidelines about my preferences. But within those boundaries, it had freedom to act as me. The first morning I woke up to find that while I was sleeping, my AI twin had cleared my inbox, scheduled 3 meetings at perfect times, declined 2 projects that didn't align with my goals, and drafted outlines for articles I needed to write. All of this happened while I was dreaming. It felt like having a productivity superpower. And heads up, if you think this tool is cool, wait till you see what I did next. It's the system I still can't stop using every single day. So here's where my experiment took an unexpected turn. I realized that my AI twin wasn't just handling tasks, it was actually making me better at decision making. How? Because every time it made a decision I disagreed with, I had to ask myself, why don't I like this choice? This forced me to get super clear about my own priorities and preferences. It's like having a mirror held up to your thinking process. When my AI scheduled a meeting at 8 a.m., way too early for my preference, I had to explicitly tell it, I'm most creative in the mornings, so I prefer to keep that time open for deep work, not meetings. This made me more intentional about how I structure my days. The real game changer was teaching my AI twin about values, not just preferences. I realized that if I wanted it to make good decisions on my behalf, it needed to understand what matters to me. So I fed it information about my core values, things like prioritizing family time, health, creative work, and learning opportunities. Suddenly, it wasn't just following rules, it was making choices aligned with what I actually care about. Let me give you a specific example. There was this project opportunity that came in. Good money, interesting work, but a super tight deadline. Before my AI twin, I probably would have said yes and stressed myself to the max trying to deliver. But my digital twin flagged it as conflicting with 2 important values. My health, it would require late nights, and a family commitment I had that weekend. Seeing those trade-offs laid out so clearly helped me make a better decision. Now, I'm not saying this was all smooth sailing. There were definitely some yikes moments, like when my AI twin replied to a message from my mom in the same professional tone it used for work emails. Sorry, Mom. Or when it scheduled 3 back-to-back meetings without any breaks, not realizing humans need things like bathroom breaks and food. Each mistake became a learning opportunity. I'd refine the guidelines, add more context, and my digital twin would get better. It's like having an apprentice who's eager to learn exactly how you want things done. The most unexpected benefit? Freedom. With my AI twin handling the routine stuff, the emails that always get the same response, the scheduling back and forth, the research gathering, I suddenly had time for the things only I could do. The creative work, the deep thinking, the human connections. This brings me to the million-dollar question. How can you create your own AI twin? It's actually simpler than you might think, and you don't need to be a tech genius to get started. First, choose your AI platform. I used a combination of ChatGPT Plus and some custom tools, but there are plenty of options out there depending on what you need your twin to do. The key is finding something that allows you to train the AI with examples of your style and preferences. Second, start with a clear list of what you want your AI twin to handle. Maybe it's email drafting, or research, or social media posts. Whatever drains your energy but follows consistent patterns is perfect for delegation. Third, and this is the part most people skip, spend time creating a detailed preference document. This is basically a guide to how you think and what matters to you. Include your communication style, your decision-making criteria, your typical daily schedule, and your absolute non-negotiables. Now for the reality check. Creating an effective AI twin takes time. The first week or two, you might feel like you're doing double the work as you train it, but stick with it. That investment pays off dramatically as your twin gets better at being you. What still blows my mind is how this experiment changed me. I became more intentional about my time, more clear about my priorities, more conscious of my communication patterns. By teaching an AI to be like me, I actually became a better version of myself. There was this moment last week when I realized something profound. I was reviewing the decisions my AI twin had made, and I noticed it had declined a meeting that, in the past, I would have automatically accepted out of obligation. Its reasoning? This does not align with your current priorities and would take time away from the project you identified as most important this week. And it was absolutely right. So here's my challenge to you. Even if you do not build a full AI twin tomorrow, start by creating that preference document I mentioned. Write down your communication style, your values, your ideal schedule. Write down what deserves an automatic yes and what should usually get a no. This simple exercise can change how you approach your days. Because ultimately, this experiment wasn't really about offloading work to an AI. It was about becoming more intentional about how I spend my time and energy, about making sure my daily choices align with what actually matters to me. The AI twin was just the mirror that helped me see things more clearly. You don't need permission to reclaim your time and attention. You don't need to keep drowning in emails and decisions that drain your energy. Whether you use AI tools or just get more intentional about your boundaries, you have the power to design a life that feels less overwhelming and more meaningful. So what parts of your thinking could use a digital twin? What decisions are draining your energy that could be handled differently? The future is not about AI replacing us. It's about AI amplifying the best parts of us, while giving us the space to be fully human where it matters most.